Welcome to the Queens on Decks, where I interview female DJs from around the world. I am Michelle Miller, your host of the Royal Queens Rising podcast. We share our inspiring stories and secrets to our success. Hey, I'm here with DJ Jess, and she has been in my Mommy DJ Mastermind for the last few months, and we're going to do a testimonial just talking about what her experience was and what it was like working with me and being in a business mastermind. So, DJ Jess, have you ever had a business coach before?
I had one for like maybe 3 weeks. Actually, the woman who she spoke on a panel, her name's Beth Caldwell, and she was the one that kind of pushed me to do DJing and forget about my master's in teaching and said you can do that later. And then we worked out a service trade where I DJ'd for a book launch for her, and she did like 2 coaching sessions. So that was the extent of that.
Nice. Yeah. So have you had mentors, or has there been people in the industry that like have helped guide you?
So that's, there's people that have helped me when I've had questions that I've reached out to, right? And I that's pretty much it. Honestly, no. I just have different people that pop in here and there when I need help and give advice. I mean, there was a DJ from the Bay Area, DJ Pudgy, who was like my Mr. Miyagi when I was planning my first big set for Vegas. That he would probably be the closest thing that I had to a mentor because I had never done a mix before. So yeah, I mean, DJ Pudgy would probably be somebody that was a consistent mentor. But other than that, honestly, no. It's just been me.
I feel you, girl. I was a lone wolf entrepreneur for many years, just learning as I go, learning as I do, just doing things my own way. But once I hired a business coach, I mean, things really started to change for me. I had never had anyone ask me, what do you want? I had never had anybody say, look, girl, look at what you've accomplished. Write it all out. Like, celebrate how amazing you are. Or like, give me some strategies. Strategies, marketing strategies are always changing. Branding, marketing, the technical stuff. There's so many aspects to business, networking. And I think that's something you are really, really, really good at, is networking and your branding. I mean, we found each other online. We connected. I caught your vibe. I interviewed you. We connected. I caught your vibe, and I wanted a deeper connection. Like, I wanted us to work together. So when COVID hit, I asked you and Stephanie, like, let's start this group. And it really, my intentions were to have each other to support and lean on, but also to teach strategies. But what I ended up learning on my end was, it was like more, the support was like so valuable, and the inspiration and motivation that we would bounce off of each other. So I would love just to hear, a little bit of feedback from you on what was your experience.
Well, I'll tell you what, COVID and everything, how it changed was such a difficult time to go through. I mean, for anybody, especially us. And at first I felt really alone because, I'm a solo op business owner, DJ, also a mother, always striving for something new, always striving to be different, always thriving off of connection and energy and just like-minded people, right? So I was feeling very alone. And then you reached out about let's do this. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but then we started to have our weekly Monday calls, and I loved that they were flexible, where it wasn't like, okay, every week at 3, it's like you would reach out to Stephanie and I and say, okay, what works for you, and we would find a time that worked for all of us. So that flexibility, the lack of pressure with that was great. And it's hard to kind of commit to something sometimes when you're in so many different mental states and you have so many different things come up whenever you're going through the change that was the coronavirus. But I wanted to go and hop on Zoom with you ladies. Like, I remember there was one Monday morning when I woke up and I was just feeling stressed. Okay, what am I going to work on today? What am I going to do today? There's so much going on in the world. Where am I going to put my focus? And then I thought, I just had that sigh of relief. Yes, I have my, my business coaching call today with Michelle and Stephanie. And that just made me feel a sense of peace, a sense of drive, because I was able to connect with you guys who, with the connection is so natural. It was insane. I mean, it is insane still. It's just, it's nothing that you can fake. And that's the thing, is I don't like the non-authentic relationship, but I like that we just like jumped around with these topics that were so authentic, so real, and it was such a sense of support. Yeah, a sense of support for each other. I left the phone calls just feeling, it doesn't matter what kind of mood I was in. You know, if I showed up with my glasses on and my hair messed up, like, you don't need to get dressed up for these. You know, you just be yourself, and that's the best thing. But I would leave the phone calls and just feel so energized and filled up again. And I love all of the topics that we talked about. And I think one of the things that I notice about you too is, you know, you are our fearless leader, right? Like, you're the one that threw this together. You're the one that takes notes and brings those notes to the meeting to guide us. You allow us to go off topic about things, but then you find a way to bring it back and give us some kind of task to do. You know, it's like you always are able to sum up everything. You may start talking, but then as soon as one of us chimed in, you sat back and you listened, and you didn't seem annoyed by it either. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, yeah. And I remember thinking, like, I feel bad. Like, I want to hear how she's doing, you know? But you always maintained that, yes, I'm part of this as a group, but I'm also here to help you guys. Like, you played both roles very well, I think.
Aw, thank you. Yeah,
Oh,
it was the first time doing this like this, and I was really happy with how it turned out, and I learned just as much from you guys as you probably learned from me. Like, I think it was beneficial for all of us, and yeah, you know, like me being the leader was like, okay, well, what do we really need today? Because
yes.
every day, I think we're very emotional beings. Um, there's so many things going on. How can we just like ground in to the present moment of like, okay, what's going on now? Okay, well, what is something that we can like focus on so we're staying in action without high pressure, just having some sort of goal? Because I do believe that it's not a time to just stop business, but I don't want to put the pressure on anybody,
Mhm.
but like enjoy your time alone, like your time with your kids, like enjoy this, but like stay grinding even if you don't feel like it, because you can't fall into that I don't feel like it for months.
You know what's crazy, Michelle? Like, just sitting here with you now, like I've expressed with you how I haven't felt like working, and I'm just kind of like, I just want to enjoy my house and projects that I've been putting off. But just being with you now, like, I think that I have taken your voice, your who you are completely as a person. And so my senses are picking up on where I've put you into my database. And I already feel that drive. Like, let's go, Jess. Let's do this. Because from 3 months of connecting with you and from all of your skills that you've brought to the table, it's been programmed into me to when I see you.
It's like the pep talk, and I need it just as much as myself. When I'm telling you let's go, I'm telling myself let's go. And
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm like in that, you know, low energy, like don't feel like doing anything, and I'm questioning, is this like real, am I really tired, or am I just telling myself I'm tired or whatnot, I'm like, take your own coaching advice and just do something. Named me her motivational business coach, and I was like, that's a good title, because I've struggled with it. Like I said, I'm the boss mama mentor, or I'm a business coach, or I'm a business mentor, and it's like I don't always like titles, but it's like, you know, we're learning what this is. And my goal, yeah, I want to spark a fire under your ass, and I want you to keep killing it, and I want you to keep showing up and doing amazing things and stepping into your leadership and your power. And you are very authentic. You people love you. And a lot of this online show and the podcast I'm launching and everything I'm doing is like, all of that video online is so people can catch your vibe.
Yeah.
Catch your vibe, they remember you, and they want to work with you,
Mhm.
you know, and you're doing it. Thinking about just like coaching moving forward and like support, like what I've been building as a community of that is really supportive with the female DJ group online. And I'm going to be launching the next group coaching program. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be global. um,
Nice.
when the time's right, it's launching. And it's just really important to have that support and have people in your corner. And I feel like, you know, once you've experienced coaching, you get it. It's
Hmm.
it's more, it's like the accountability was a big part. Let's talk
Yes.
a little bit about that. You go.
Oh, the accountability. I mean, so as far as getting things done, it's like I would remember what we talked about and if I worked on it or not. Like for example, there was that unique sales uh, perspective, the USP, that which is, what makes you different, what makes you stand out, what helps you to sell. So I know we were supposed to work on that, and then I like completely forgot. And I'm like, oh crap! But typically I would just let that go and say, okay, let me put it for next week's to-dos, but instead I was like, okay, I need to focus on this because we talked about it and I know that we're meeting again and we're going to be, speaking about it. So I have trouble sticking to goals sometimes. I get distracted with my kids. I get distracted with house projects, with, playing all of these roles from mom to wife to DJ to friend to Jess, for myself too. But having accountability is huge because that there's other people there that are doing the same thing and that want to speak about what you said you were going to work on. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to declare and write it down. And even if it takes you 2 years, like I'm launching the audio podcast, I've been interviewing female DJs for almost 2 years, and it's
Wow.
taken that long to turn it into an audio podcast from a video online show. So
Mhm.
it's just like writing it down and declaring it. And it's okay if you need to extend the deadline. That's fine. Yeah. So awesome. Is there any final thoughts that you want to share closing out this?
Well, I just got to say, one of the things, speaking about writing it down, I think one of the most impactful sessions we had was when I was dealing with a lot of stress in my life, just different things going on. And you had Stephanie and I write down what we were stressed out about and then what we had control over and what we didn't. And that was like a breaking point for me. So I love the tools and tricks that you bring to the table that aren't hard to do. They're super easy to do. And that's just, I learned so much within that 5 minutes. So I would just say your education on how to support and how to motivate and just little things to do, because it's so naturally part of you, it moves mountains, definitely. So thank you for that. That was huge. Paired up with who you should. So if anybody out there is watching this and you're like on the cusp about hiring a business coach, right here, like all day.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I offer free calls on my website, djrundat.com. First call's free.
Do it. I did that too. That's what first connected us, man. And you helped me with social media. I remember.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jess. It's been a pleasure. And I know our journey has just begun, and it's only going up from here.
Nice, for
Yeah.
sure.
Go to my website to claim your free gift, a digital copy of my best-selling book, How to Start a DJ Business. www.djrundat.com. Follow me on all social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at DJ RunDat. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. To learn how you can book me or work with me, go to my website or email me at michelle@djrundat.com.